Ooh, we in the Elite Eight today.
Elite Eight, and we're gonna get it. We actually gonna get it down to the Final Four
And
the
champion. The champion. We're gonna knock it out today. In this
We're
video.
knocking out today.
All right. So we know we got a tough road ahead of us.
Yes.
So y'all stick it out.
Yeah.
See where we end up.
So Q, you want to give them a recap of the Elite Eight?
Yeah. So recap of the Elite Eight. We had Geralt Vs Vaelin.
Yeah.
Percy and Szeth.
Yeah.
And then on the right side of the bracket, we had Taniel and Darrow and Vin and Eragon
Yep.
as our victors. And so they'll all be fighting against each other.
Yep.
So first round is Geralt versus Vaelin.
Geralt versus Vaelin.
Geralt versus Vaelin. All right,
Okay.
bro. So we know that Geralt is, we mentioned, they're both, so the crazy thing here is that both Geralt and Vaelin are both battle hardened. They've been doing this for, since they were youth.
Yes.
Geralt has a leg up because he has been doing it for like hundreds of years.
Right?
Right?
You
He's
think
an old man in the game,
older,
right?
Yeah. But he's not like old as far as like his abilities.
He's not old. Just mentally he's wise.
Yes.
In this battle game.
Yes.
He also has magic that he can do.
Mm-hmm.
He has push. What else can he do?
He can do
Igni signs.
Igni signs for fire. Quinn
Quinn
is for blocking.
Yeah.
His one for slowing things down.
Did you say fire, shield, and mind control?
Yeah.
And trap.
Yeah.
And telekinesis wave, which we said.
To like do a little mind thing.
Yeah.
And see, so that one, I feel like might be. See, the thing is, will that be effective on Vaelin? I don't know, because the blood song, right?
Yeah,
it tells him it's like a ultimate compass in figuring out what the right thing to do is and like how the right way to attack.
Yeah, sings to him. Like dodge this way, dodge that way.
Cut
Step
low
to the right, because something good may happen if you. It's like it compels him to do things to his advantage.
Now, we read all three of the first books, right?
Yeah.
One thing that was also prevalent was the blood song takes a toll on him, right?
True.
Overuse of the blood song makes him almost kind of like 11 from Stranger Things, right? Nosebleeds, his ear, he starts kind of losing it if he uses it too much. So I feel like if he were to win, he would need to listen, and the blood song would have to disable Geralt quickly because the prolonged use, he would deteriorate, and Geralt will take advantage.
The thing is Geralt has so many ways of offense and defense to protect himself.
He does. He could Quinn a couple times, blah. Okay, I'm eating those.
Yeah.
I feel like they're both extraordinary swordsmen, right?
Because they are. I would just have to give it to Geralt because he's been doing it longer.
He has been doing it longer.
It's kind of like giving it to a vet versus the rookie.
Yeah.
Where, it's like
Michael Jordan.
If there was equal footing and it was a rookie and a vet, I have to give it to the vet.
Yes, because he knows. He's been doing it.
I mean, what's Geralt's weakness? Does he have any weakness?
So, I think in the show and the books we've seen, strong magic can take him over, right?
Yeah.
Like Yennefer and Triss.
Miracle.
They have been able to compel him because of their extreme capabilities in magic. So I think his own, I mean, that too. But I think so far from what we've read and seen, the only thing that has been able to take out Geralt is either his own compassion for things or an overwhelming magical force. I think anything below that he's able to combat one-on-one. And I don't think, I'm not sure the blood song is enough to overwhelm Geralt.
Geralt, I agree.
Okay, we'll go with Geralt. We'll go Geralt.
All right.
Next round.
G-Man won that one. All right, so next round we have Percy versus Szeth.
Percy versus Szeth.
Percy versus Szeth. This one be an interesting one.
Now,
right?
I feel like with Geralt and Vaelin, we didn't really have to talk about where they're going to fight. We'll just put them in an open playing field. They'll both battle out. With this one, I think it's interesting because again, Szeth can fly. Yeah. So if it's open battle area, Szeth can just fly around. But we don't want that.
But I feel like Percy, if he had enough water, he could propel himself.
He could. And also the thing is how much water we're going to give him because he's almost invulnerable, top level demigod if he's in a sea or a pool or ocean. He can.
But Szeth can also heal himself.
He can. And Percy can heal himself with water. Like if you get cut and you put some water on it, like ooh, magical arm. You know, so it's like, yeah. Szeth can take.
Let's revisit power and abilities really quickly.
Okay.
All right. So Percy Jackson, demigod of the big three. He's superhuman durability, strength, reflexes, and agility.
Yep.
Hydrokinesis, hydrogenesis. That gets me every time.
Which is healing from water.
Cryokinesis,
controlling ice.
vitakinesis, heat resistance.
Yep.
Supernatural alertness and keen senses in battle. Naturally talented swordsman and can speak
to animals. Water animals, and I think horses. Which I mean, if they fighting in the ocean, I mean, he can make. So
naturally talented swordsman doesn't mean he's a great swordsman against someone who does it for life. Yes,
I think in the books he like battled like some like of the top demigod swordsmen and held his own.
Yeah,
but I mean, I feel like in Stormlight Archive, Szeth is probably one of the best when it comes to slicing and dicing.
Okay,
so Szeth is probably a better swordsman.
Okay, so he is a Skybreaker of the third ideal. He has radiant perks.
Which is healing.
Yeah, and then gravity manipulation for that radiant class. Master swordsman, stealth mastery. So
another thing again that I think about, it all goes down to time limit. If Szeth were to run out of Stormlight, he's done.
Yeah.
Like, no more Stormlight means he can't heal from those death-dealing injuries.
Yeah.
Percy can drown him, slash him, whatever. He's done.
Pull his water
back.
Like,
all that. Yeah. Like, murk him. For Szeth to kill Percy, I mean, Percy is very resistant to a lot of things, but I mean, he can still die from.
He can still chop his head off.
Chop his head off, or stab to the heart. So he can still die. So Szeth would just have to do him in before his Stormlight ran out. Can Percy last longer enough? It depends on the environment. I feel like if they was fighting in the middle of the ocean or a sea near, Percy would just he just throw water and just heal and be unstoppable. So we'll give Percy some water, but not like a sea. We'll give him like somebody's backyard 10-foot pool or something like that of water, just to be fair. And we'll give pool of water, and we'll give Szeth a brome of storm. Like I don't know what a brome is, and he gets a brome to suck in and do his thing. Can Szeth kill him quick enough, Q?
Szeth is an assassin.
Yes.
He knows how to kind of get in there and get things done.
Yes.
Now, and Szeth was kind of showing that he was not as capable as we always thought he was.
That's true. Yes.
All right. This one's hard.
It is hard. What do y'all think? What do y'all think between Percy and Szeth? This is one of our toughest ones. All right, for time purposes, what you gonna say, Q?
All right, we're gonna flip my phone. If it lands like this, we're gonna give it to Percy. If it lands on its face, we're gonna give it to Szeth.
Okay.
This is so terrible.
It is.
Szeth.
How did you catch that? That was a weird catch, bro. You caught it like sideways and turned it. Do it again. You do it again. Szeth.
Szeth.
Okay.
Szeth
won by phone flip. Sorry, guys. I know this was we could keep debating further and further. Szeth had enough to hide and take Percy in the air and shank him in the heart before Percy could heal himself with water. That's what we go with. So, all right, we got Geralt and Szeth are our first two Final Four members.
Yeah.
All right, let's flip to the other side of the bracket.
Other side of the bracket, we have
my man Taniel Two-Shot
versus Darrow.
Olikos. Right? All right, so we're going to let, my man Taniel sniff, a little bit of canister of powder so he can, rage up.
So once he sniffs that, he gets, superhuman, ability.
Strength, agility, and then to be able to shoot bullets, make them turn, or blow stuff up.
Yeah. So
again, Taniel has no guns. He just has his powder to snort.
Darrow is naturally just huge gorilla, superhuman.
I think they say he's heavy. 7'1". Yeah. He's carved to be a gold, which is naturally strong. I think he's an exceptional gold. So he's a gold who can is on the level with some of the, I think they call them obsidians or something like that, like the Rager Beast. So he's already way beyond normal people's strength in agility and resistance.
So the first trilogy for Taniel Two-Shot, did he have any struggles? Like, were there anything that like...
Other than, like, I think he got kind of addicted to that powder.
Okay.
And the mas. Toward the end, he learned a really unique sword fighting style.
Yeah.
So if we don't give Taniel guns and he just has to fight, and we'll give him a sword or a bayonet. You know, he's fought in the army, so we'll give him a bayonet. Yeah. And then we'll give Darrow a sword. I think Darrow's mastery with the sword is better than Taniel's mastery with any weapon minus a gun. I think if they were to each have a weapon, I think
Darrow would take it.
Darrow would take it.
I wrote Darrow.
I think if they were barehanded, I think Darrow could probably last long enough for Taniel's powder trance to wear off, because they wear down. Yeah. I think he could, and then he could overpower him. Yeah. So
I'll take that.
All right.
I like it.
We're gonna go Darrow.
Darrow
like us is gonna win this first one. Mm-hmm. I have read the sequel to the Powder Mage trilogy. Yeah. So I gotta read that.
I read the first book.
Yeah.
I DNF'd it.
You did? You did a sequel joint?
Yeah.
All right.
That's
another tough one. Vin versus Eragon.
Okay. So we talked about this earlier. We talked about how Eragon, he has to draw power from a lot of sources. But he's very powerful. He has to draw power from several sources. And again, Jake called that out.
Yeah, he called out how Eragon has words of death where he can use a little bit of power and like kill people automatically, right? So we're not allowing that because again, he learned that toward the end of the novels. And again, if we want to say what people can use it toward the end of the novels, we can basically put Vin on a level that is higher than everybody in the competition. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to let him do that. Also, we're not going to let Eragon pull strength. So a lot of his feats that from research, it was either pulling strength from his jewels that he stored power in, his sword, his dragon, the vault that he got. Like, so he pulled a lot of power to do things to help him overcome things, which was dope. But we're not going to let him do that. Even on his natural ability, though, he's a monster. He's beast. He can run faster than a horse. Mm-hmm. He has a strength, I think, to punch through like someone's plate. Mm-hmm. So he's still a beast. And we're gonna give Vin, a full set of vials. One of everything to pour in. Yeah. Now, if we give her, are we gonna give her ATM? If we give her ATM, she can predict. She can go that level where she can predict what's going on. And I don't know if we want to give her that or not. We're not giving her that. But we'll give her all the base metals, which is still, very powerful.
The thing, so Eragon's fast, right? He can run as fast as a horse. Yeah. And I think that should count for something. Vin is, I wouldn't necessarily say she's extremely fast, but she's agile. And she can be durable, too. Like, when they took that, I think it was a part in the first book where her and Kelsey did the pewter trance, and they ran for like 2 days. Yeah, pewter. So I remember pewter. She can go for a long time, so she can up her strength, I think, to Eragon's level. Mm-hmm. She can up her endurance and resistance. And that's not even talking about her maneuverability. I think her maneuverability is higher than Eragon's. Like, he's agile because he did the L transformation, but she's, like, even more so, I would believe. And then this is not but another thing, to Eragon's credit, one thing that Vin can do, she can like mess with your emotions, right? Mm-hmm. But he has strong mental defenses. So I feel like his mental defenses would maybe negate her doing emotional manipulation to him. All right. So I think this is going to come down to like Battle of the Wits.
Vin
is street smart.
She's very street smart.
Vin is very street smart. Like we know, like, the drop of a dime, she know how to survive. Yeah. So she's a survivalist.
She's a survivalist. Okay. I do remember in the second book when she fought that other Mistborn, she was like reading his tendencies to figure out like how to beat him because he had a leg up on her because he had the ATM. Yeah. She didn't. She's like, how do I beat him? Like she can be very cerebral. Yeah. So I will give her points on that.
Eragon. Where has Eragon proven to us that he can have the mental capacity to think quick on his feet and to defeat an enemy?
He was, again, none comes to mind. Yeah. I'm sure there are in the books, yes.
There's nothing that's like...
I feel like a lot of Eragon's power-up level was due to being taught from different sources and then being pulled from different sources. Pulled from Saphir, pulled from the environment. And one thing he can do is pull from the environment. So we're going to do like, just a barren desert. So nothing for him to pull from to do extra energy. And again, just as all the nerfs we're doing, Eragon just speaks to how powerful he is. Yeah. So all the Eragon's fan, he is a beast.
But know that if you do a barren desert, there will be nothing for Vin to push off of.
That's true.
Minus her coins to be able to like push up.
Yeah, we'll give her coins to push up and push around. We could do a cityscape. Which I mean, he's not from the city, and then she could move around. But that would might be fair to him. Yeah. Do desert with some poles. I don't know. And we'll give her glass daggers versus his sword. Mm-hmm. He's one of the best swordsmen in his world. She's probably one of the best, like, close in hand factor. I feel like if it came down to it, Vin would pull in close to let Eragon get her so she could stab him in the neck. Mm-hmm. Is how I see it ending. Like, they're both going ham at it, and she's like, all right, I need to do something gutsy. I will risk my arm getting cut and just dealing with it so I can shank him in the neck. Yeah. And pewter shank him in the neck. Maybe tilt him off balance with if he has mail on or something like that.
Vin doesn't come out of this battle
unscathed at all. I think we give it to Vin limping, hobbling out of the battle.
That's interesting. So we give it to Vin limping out of the battle.
Yes.
Man,
we'll go Vin. Yeah.
Okay. So now,
final four. Who we got?
So final four, we have Geralt versus Szeth.
Yep.
We have Darrow versus Vin. All right.
Yep.
And we're gonna refresh them. They're happy and healthy, ready for battle. Time to go in.
All right. Geralt and Szeth. I don't like this matchup for Geralt. I feel like Szeth is way more adaptable as far as like how he can maneuver, as far as agility.
They're both great swordsmen.
When it comes to sword skills, one-on-one, he can do it.
Where Geralt is the weaker of the two is his ability to heal.
Yes.
He can't heal like Szeth.
No. He can heal over time faster, but not like instantly like Szeth.
Yeah.
And I feel like his abilities are stronger. Like I feel so if Szeth were to, gravity like push him against something, could Geralt really get out? Like he's strong, but like he'd have to like blow the wall up with one of his abilities. Mm-hmm. I don't see any of his stuff hurting.
Because Geralt is Geralt like superhuman strength? Like he's...
I'm sure he's probably stronger than the average person, but like not like superhuman.
Yeah, like he's gonna be out here lifting 10 horses.
No, he might can lift like 3 horses, which is still a beast, but like not like 10. I just don't think... I feel like Szeth can kill Geralt many different ways, and I don't know if everything Geralt has in defense is strong enough to overcome Szeth.
No, I agree. I wrote Szeth.
Son Falana is in the championship. Geralt had a good run, man. He had a great run.
He did.
He just went up against someone with just way more ability. Yes. All right, so on the other side, Darrow and Vin. And this is where I feel like,
I don't feel like this is a tough one.
I don't. I just feel like Darrow... He just ran into one of Sanderson's other beasts in the series. Like, I don't see Darrow as being agile enough to catch and touch Vin, and I don't think Vin could just kill him off. I mean, so she's killed beasts before, like the Colossus, the big, and that's kind of what he kind of is.
Somebody said
he kind of is similar. Somebody did. He similar is a Colossus. Probably more wherewithal and strength, but like I feel like she would just bleed him, like shank here, shank here, shank here, shank here, shank here, until he's bleeding from 8 different cuts, and he's like, but I don't think he can touch her. And then if he were to hit her strength with strength, like she could pewter flare enough to like, knock him back and eat whatever he's getting. So I just feel like Vin just
got the upper hand.
She got the upper hand,
regardless. Like
I feel like the other two just ran into bad matchups at this point, man.
Vin, you're in the championship.
All right.
So
battle of two Sandersons.
Man.
Sanderson's crew. Szeth versus Vin. The championship.
And this is a possible battle sometime in the future because we don't know. Sanderson don't.
So he's full of Stormlight. She's full of all her medals.
Yes. She's agile.
And he's agile.
He's quick.
They're both agile.
Yes.
They might be about equally agile.
Yeah.
One thing I think about is Vin's ability that, didn't help with Eragon, but I feel like would help with Szeth. Szeth has come through some mental things, and I feel like if Vin could play with his emotions, by rioting or dulling it, it could affect him. Like he could, maybe she I forget what the other opposite of riot is, but like she makes him like, you don't really want to fight. Yeah. You don't really want to fight. You really don't want to fight. And he's like, why am I fighting? Like he's all about trying to have a purpose to fight, right? Yeah. So what if she numbs him to say you don't want to fight? That might be like, then she could shank him in the neck. And obviously he can heal, but she can shank him in the neck 10 times. She can chop his head off. So I feel like that would play a part in it.
But get this, and we didn't mention this when Vin was fighting Eragon. We said Eragon's a good swordsman?
Yes.
It's metal.
It is.
So
it is. She could
manipulate and have him cut himself. So
yes.
Same thing against Szeth.
She can.
We give Szeth a regular sword.
Yeah. She could probably push and pull on it. Now he could cut his arm and go back and pull back, but it would use his resources to do that.
Yes.
So she would basically have another weapon against someone else if they have a normal sword.
Exactly.
Because we're not giving him
off of that.
She could push off. She could pull. I feel like pewter flaying is stronger than whatever Szeth's.
Look, whenever I'm ready for Sanderson to bring these worlds together. I'm ready to see what he comes up with for this. Like out of everything, like that is what I'm most curious about now. Because eventually these worlds will somehow intertwine.
We hope so.
So this is going to be extremely interesting to see what happens. But if we had to make a decision today, based off the facts, based off what we know from reading both of these characters, Szeth could put up a good fight, but I don't think he could stand a chance to the end.
To the end. At least at his current ideal. Current ideal that we know. Because we've seen somebody else.
The fact that Vin, and you mentioned this, Vin can play with his emotions.
And he has some mental things going on.
Things he's dealing with.
I feel like that would affect him.
That would extremely affect what he does.
Yes.
So
the champion of our
first call this
March Madness fantasy fighting books, whatever we want to call it, our first fantasy March Madness goes to Vin.
Vin.
Salute to you, Vin.
She's the real MVP.
She is the real MVP.
Now,
with this tournament, Q has to name his next kid Vin because Vin won. Isn't that right, Q?
Yeah, good luck. So what we're gonna do now, starting this year, we're grabbing new characters.
We are grabbing new characters
for
next year's tournament.
Yes, and we're gonna beef up next year's tournament in like the sense of like participation.
Yes.
From you all.
Yes.
Like somehow maybe include like some type of bracket system and like maybe like a giveaway for the
perfect bracket or something like that.
We'll figure it out to make it happen.